Some people who I find kind of weird, and yes, I will say that that I find them weird. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat any of my opinions or anything. I do find them kind of weird. Are people who only focus on their physical discipline, because there's a lot of people who are physically disciplined. There's a lot of people who go to the gym and all that. You can be a very big guy outside, but a very little guy inside. You can have a very weak mindset, but still be a very big guy. And I've seen so many people in my school like this. So it's not everything, but I'm not saying that it's not necessary. Of course, you have to be working on yourself physically. That's a must. If you want to improve yourself, if you want to better your life, you have to be working on yourself physically. But there's so many people who also work out as well. So you're not that much above the average guy. There's so many people who in my school, they work out and all this stuff, but they don't have any of these other aspects of discipline or any of these other kind of mindsets that you need in order to become a successful individual in life. There's so many people who I see in my school who are physically big and all that stuff. They work out and all that, whatever, right? But they're still a slave to their desires. They're a little man on the inside. They're a weak man on the inside. They're a slave to their hedonistic desires. They're a slave to girls. That's the reality. There's so many people who are fit. There's so many people who are jacked. But there's nobody who's strong on the inside and can actually control their desires. That's what separates a person from the rest of the people. A person who is not a slave to their desires is a person who is above everybody else. And a lot of these guys who you think are, these alpha male chads and all that, this freaking sigma male, this alpha male or whatever, a bunch of these guys who you see on the internet who are like that, they're not really that special. They're not really that much above anybody else. A lot of the people who you see that are physically disciplined are only doing it for the girls. The people who are around you, a lot of them just started working out and all this stuff just for girls, just to fulfill their sexual desires. That's the only reason as to why a bunch of these guys are doing that. I'm not telling you to stop doing what you're doing if you're working out whatever simply for girls. I'm not saying that you should stop working out or whatever. I'm not here to discourage any of that. With that being said, the reason as to why physical discipline isn't everything, because what makes a man a true man is if they have purpose involved as well. If they trying to live a purposeful life. And I'm not saying that they're trying to have a bunch of fun or whatever. They're trying to, live a life. Oh yeah, you only live once. Not any of that BS. I'm saying that they're trying to actually build a purposeful life. Now, for example, a purposeful life could be something that you're trying to set something. You're trying to leave something in this world. Whether it be you're trying to have like kids or something like that, you're trying to raise them properly, you're trying to leave an impact on this world, or it could be any other thing as well that doesn't really revolve around fulfilling your desires. Something that's outside of fulfilling your desires and is a proper goal is usually part of your purpose. Now, with that being said, when I talk about fulfilling your desires, I'm talking about harmful desires. It all depends on your intention. Fulfilling your desires, sure, I might be talking about it like it's a super bad thing, but I want to clarify that if you're trying to fulfill your desires, for example, if it's money, right? If you're trying to fulfill that desire, but it's for a good intention, then that's where it becomes more of a purposeful goal. But if you're trying to get money and you're just trying to spend it on freaking hookers and a bunch of drugs and this lavish lifestyle, which you see a bunch of these rappers living, that's where it becomes a hedonistic lifestyle, and that's where you become a slave to your desires. So when it comes to things like that, for example, like money, right? I'm trying to get a bunch of money, not because I want to spend it in a hedonistic way or whatever. I'm trying to get a bunch of money so that I can move out this country, move to a country where it's like more, centered around my morals, centered around my beliefs and all that, and a country where I think I can raise my kids best. I want to be able to get money to be financially free and to be able to see my kids more and work less. I feel like that's more of a purposeful goal. So brothers, my entire, kind of meaning of this video, if I'm trying to summarize this up, is that a true man is not somebody who just gets all the girls or is super jacked or all that. Although being jacked, being physically fit and all that are very important abilities that you should have, there's also a bunch of other things that you need to have. You absolutely need to have them if you're trying to become like a true man and if you're trying to live a purposeful life. My name is JBM. I'm gonna wrap it up there. Stay focused, remain disciplined. Take care.